Hey, it's Jeremy with Teletone. I want to do a deeper dive into the ARP section on Voyager Guitar. I want to cover a few things that we didn't quite get to in the walkthrough, so let's jump on in. And as I mentioned before, we're calling it an ARP for brevity's sake, but it does quite a bit more than a normal arpeggiator, which you will see in this video. So for starters, we're just going to load up one instance of Voyager. I have this preset Quick loaded up. It normally uses the finger taps. I have changed that to the picked sustains. And let's look at the ARP section. I have it set to 16 steps at 16th notes. And then I have it in chord mode, so it's going to let you layer notes on top of each other. And then I also have this step retrigger turned on, which is going to mean that every time you hit a note, it will send it back to step one. I don't want to make something that's somewhere in between like a rhythm guitar and a hook. So it's going to be a little bit melodic, but keeping more of the rhythm. So I'm going to draw in a step here, and then everything after this, it's going to let it hold. But I want a little bit more rhythm, so let's add some syncopation here at the end. I have another note followed by a release sample that I have turned up pretty loud. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, so now I've recorded a little chord progression to go along with that idea. And let's add another instance of Voyager Guitar now. And this is where it's going to start to get a little bit more interesting. I want to do this second instance of Voyager Guitar, and I want to use the ARP, but I don't really want to trigger many notes with it. I want to use it to make a percussive layer of all those kind of stops and chucks and taps and rest articulations, as we've been calling them. Okay, so I still have it set to chord mode, by the way, 16 steps, 16th notes. And on this one, I have turned step retrigger off, and I'm leaving open this first note where the other instance is playing, and then the rest of this is just kind of percussive stuff that you would do on the neck of the guitar, and it sounds like this. So I do have a couple of notes that I'm allowing to come in here and there. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy the same exact MIDI information and paste it onto this percussive track. Let's hear these together. Yeah, so you can kind of hear where I'm going with this, but I want to add yet another layer. And on this layer, I have the synth layer pulled up mixed with a little bit of this deluxe amp. I have power chord mode on, and then I'm using the swells because I want this to be kind of something that I can fade in and out from behind that rhythmic stuff that's happening. So I have attached the mod wheel to expression, so that's going to change the volume when I use the mod wheel. And then I do have the ARP going here also. And the swells already have a slow attack, but in a way I'm slowing down the attack even more by making it wait a couple of steps to come in, and then it rings out after that. On top of that, I'm using this plate lush reverb, and then a similar delay to what I'm using on the other ones. And I'm also using a pretty heavy amount of age on here, and then I added some EQ as well. And then once again, I'm just going to duplicate that MIDI information onto this track. So far, I've only recorded one piece of MIDI information, and I've just loaded up other instances of Voyager Guitar to create new sounds with it. So with the synth layer, let's hear a performance of this, and I'm going to use the mod wheel to kind of fade this synth layer in and out. I think I'm just going to add one more layer of Voyager Guitar to show you one more thing. I'm going to use chord mode to add just a little more rhythm. I'm going to pan it to the left side here, and I just want it to sound like there's an extra like strummy part to the left side. And once again, I have just duplicated the same MIDI information onto this track, and let's hear all of these things together. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a drum beat in here as well. So that's just a quick little idea I came up with to show you how you can use the same MIDI information, duplicate it onto different tracks, set the ARP to different settings, and come up with like a whole new series of ideas that you can string together.